Buying or selling real estate can be confusing.
Today we're going to clear up all those misconceptions.
Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Brandon. Welcome to Monday Mortgage Matters.
Today we have a special guest with us. You may know him as Corndog Willis.
In the flesh. No, you probably know him as Wes Warren. He's the broker at Happy Homes Real Estate, just right here in Coleman. So yeah, man.
That's right. Thanks. Great to be here with Crystal and Brandon.
Yeah.
And Willowben.
So we were talking earlier, and you wanted to cover some misconceptions that buyers have.
So yeah, talking about misconceptions that sellers and buyers do have, and there's a lot of those, so we're just going to touch on a few. Starting off with the sellers, so many people think you don't need a realtor to sell your home or list your home. The reason being is that there's so much online service that's available. Records, Zillow, which I'll get into a little bit more detail, especially on the buyer search that's there. But a realtor does so much more than just list your home. It's the research that goes and a true comparable search that goes into that. What we've heard is we've seen so many times a for sale by owner has undervalued their home.
Right.
And the reason is what they're looking at online is not a true number or comparable because they're not getting the actual figures that we see doing the market analysis. So I've helped many of for sale by owners where they had underpriced their home, and I actually brought a buyer to them, and it actually ended up selling more than they thought it would because of that. So that situation goes on a lot, but you see so many times too sellers misconceptions because of HGTV now that hey, multiple offers, so why would I not sell it myself? I'm going to hold an open house and I'm going to have multiple offers and it's going to sell for over asking price. As we all know, HGTV is somewhat not real. That's there.
It's TV for a reason.
It's exactly what it is. It's formatted for entertainment.
Right.
And so that misconception is a bad one because so many. Even now when we list homes too, it's a misconception because they won't know why they're not getting multiple offers. It's region, area, all determines that. And it can happen, but it's not just a
super
typical,
common, yeah,
right, that's going to happen there. A second seller's misconception I wanted to touch on is it's better to start high on my price and then we can come down.
So that's not a good idea?
It's not a good
Okay.
idea. Overpricing your home often leads to your home sitting on the market and getting stale. We do those market analysis searches for a reason, and that is you want what your house is worth. So we try to get it into that value point so you're not overpricing your house. What happens is 9 times out of 10, a lot of the listing appointments I sit in, they say, well, I can always come down, but I can never go up. It's a true statement, but sometimes when you say that and we start out too high, you're 3 months in, you've not had a look yet, and then so you're getting, they want to know why you haven't done your job, which they say, well, I told you where to list it, and where we needed to be.
And as a realtor too, you see as a buyer, they're out there looking at properties in this range.
That's right.
Right? So they're comparing it in their minds to what's out there at this value. And so if you're overpriced, they're like, man, they're asking way too much. I've seen 3 other properties.
That's exactly right. That leads right into one of those things. They say, well, the buyers can make an offer. Well, sometimes they're not even going to get into that house because of what you're saying.
Right.
They've got 4 other houses that are undervalued of yours, and they're not even going to look at yours because thinking, well, I'll make an offer on one of these and it can get it lower at that price. So you see that all the time with that. And as a follow-up to this myth, when they say that they can always make me an offer with that, the problem is when you overprice it, they may never get a look at that home. So many times I've had buyers that they'll come in and I'll say, well, what about this one? No, it's out of my price range. They say, yeah, but you never know. And they still will never look. And then 8 months down the road, that house closes in the system and there it is. The closing price is below where they were looking and that. And that's another thing which wasn't even a part of this is, I won't say several times, your first offer can sometimes be your best offer.
That's true.
Your best activity comes usually within the first 30 days of a new listing. And so when you get an offer in that first 30 days, a lot of times that ends up being your best offer. That's hard for a seller to understand that.
Right. It's like, I want to wait and see. Right?
That's exactly right. Hey, it's 2 days on the market, I'm going to wait. It had to happen last week. Let's just wait and wait it out. Well, that buyer goes away, and then here we are. You're 4 weeks down the road, not another look. So that's just a problem that sometimes happens. And there's several others, but those things that I see more than anything because more and more for sale by owners, and they're not being represented correctly, as well as knowing what's the common closing cost and how it's involved. Plus the marketing that we put into your properties means a lot too.
So what about the misconceptions that buyers may have?
And there's a lot of these as well. As y'all see this end of it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But I touched on three that really I see weekly that comes in, and this one's getting more and more prevalent, which surprises me because of the information that's out there and education that's out there, and that's people coming in saying, I don't have 20% down to put down on a house. And you know, some come in, I don't have 10%, they don't know the actual numbers, and so we have to quickly educate them, hey, there's 100% loans out there. You know, we were talking beforehand, Coleman being a rural area, that rural development loan is a great loan and still out there, but I know there's so many loans that are under the 20% range.
Right,
and
I mean,
that's
almost,
what people don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, if I looked across our entire portfolio of loans that we do, I mean, super small percentage of purchases put 20% down. I mean, in this market.
These buyers are losing because what it is they've been saving for a year, and they, you know, we're almost to that number, and you're like, you could have bought a home a year ago. And of course, with the rates easing up, it needs to be out there that, hey, you need to talk to your local lender,
Find out what you
mortgage,
can do.
and see, hey, if I've got 3% down, what can I do? Or if I've got none, do I qualify for something like that? And that's what we do, is try to let them know that. It's just letting the public know that, to be educated in what that is.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's
like things like this.
For.
Yeah, exactly.
This is for. The other one, and this is really coming more prevalent every day, and that's, I looked at this estimate. This is a buyer, or I looked at their appraisal, and it says that the house is only worth this much. So we have these educated buyers that come in, and we have to quickly tell them, how many times have you seen a Zillow car riding around Coleman, get out and walk through the house? The other thing is that people are coming in and saying, I read the appraisal. And I said, well, where'd you get the appraisal? They're going on the tax records, which are public knowledge, and it's tax assessment. But it'll say on there at some point it says tax appraisal, and they think immediately that's the appraisal of the home. So again, I have an educated buyer coming in saying, this house you showed us the other day, I looked up the appraisal and it says it's only worth this much, which is half of what they're listing it for. Yeah, so you have to understand tax assessments are completely different, and we can educate on that too. So that's become a big issue. Or they'll see the public records where that house closed 5 years ago, and they say, well, they only bought it for this, why are they selling it for this? What went into that house? Was it bought in foreclosure, of course?
Just never know. But sometimes they don't know how to look that up too.
That's exactly.
That's what a good realtor would do for.
That's what we're here for, and can detail and show you that out. That's, I guess, the dangers of internet that's out there, or the knowledge that's out there with that. And finally, one thing that I want to tell you is again, it comes down to the HGTV format, and it's, hey, we want to look at these three houses, and we're going to decide.
We're going to go to the little coffee shop. We're going to talk about
it. That's exactly, and it's so many times that they want to look like the HGTV. They want us to go look at three. They have a name for the three houses. They go talk, and that's great, because a lot of times you can narrow it down to three.
Oh, sure.
And it works. But there's many times that it may take 30 houses. And what's sad, people, because of that, they're brainwashed to think they've got to decide, and they'll settle for something that may not be exactly what they wanted, because we've got to stay in this format of where we need to be. And so, again, it becomes, let us search out what's available, let us search our tools of things that may not be available, and you'd be surprised at, how many more things are out there than what you're looking at on your own. So definitely contacting a local realtor to go over these things. We would love to help you in any way, and we sit down. It's a free consultation to show you, and then can get you pre-approved with these great lenders too.
Yeah. So how can they reach you, man?
They can call us at, the office is 256-737-3050. We're at 221 2nd Avenue, just a block south of the Catholic Church. Right around the corner from you guys.
That's right.
So come walk in. We love walk-in. If you just want to come in and get a free coffee cup or a T-shirt, that's fine too. We love walk-ins and being able to talk real estate.
Or if you want a selfie with Wes.
Those are free as well.
So we hope that this has been helpful to you. I'm sure it has. We have loved you being on this show. Thought it was pretty awesome.
Thank you.
If you need us for anything, give us a call at 256-734-6012 or visit us online at SnyderMortgageTeam.com 24/7.
So yeah, if you have any questions about getting a mortgage with less than 20% down, we got plenty of options, and we'd love to go over those with you.
We hope you have a great Monday and a great rest of the week.
Bye.
Did I talk too long or
No,
enough?
you're good.
I didn't want to talk too long.
Oh, no, I
Lose
had
interest real quick.
a great nap while you was talking.
See, I can.
So we were talking earlier, and So we were talking earlier, and you wanted to cover some misconceptions. Why can't, Lord, you're going to have to help me. So we were talking earlier, and you. Dang it!
Yeah, we were.
Dang it! So we were talking earlier, and you wanted to cover some misconceptions. Here we go.
Wait.
Look.
There, oh, here's back.
And the dang sun has come out. Look at that,
What in the
Phil.
world?
Today we're going to be talking about feminine hygiene products. We have Wes Warren with us today.